Hello friends, today I am making Thanksgiving custard. I have loved how this recipe is turning out. It has this creme brulee crust to it, and with whipped cream, it is just divine. I'm so looking forward to having this on Thanksgiving. And as you can imagine, this is a pumpkin dessert. So I just wanted to make it for you today. I also just wanted to share with you, this is a Saturday, and I do different things in my kitchen that make my week easier. So I just wanted to share with you the other things I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to be grating cheese for a recipe. I'm going to be cutting up lettuce also for the week. I'll have 2 big salads this week. And I just wanted to mention, this organic lettuce here is from Walmart. This butter lettuce, it lasts for a long time, way more than other types of lettuce like romaine or bagged lettuce. I'm also going to be slicing up cabbage for a recipe later in the week. I'm going to make hard-boiled eggs, and I have some chuck roast hamburgers that I will be making as well. And then of course I'm making this dessert, and I'll be making homemade whipped cream to go with it so that I can be totally in control of the sugar factor. I'll be using, keto sweeteners for that. And I'm also making toothpaste. So that's kind of what my Saturday looks like. So now let's just jump into making this dessert. I just throw everything into the blender. It's such an easy way. I do have to make the toppings separately, but I'll throw all of these ingredients into the blender. Pumpkin is really hard to find right now. So I had to, this pumpkin is from Walmart, and I was able to get some. I didn't get as much as I ordered, but it is non-GMO. It has no preservatives. The ingredients say just pumpkin. So I might typically have purchased an organic version of that, but I'm happy to use this and happy to be able to make it. And I got enough that I will be able to make it for Thanksgiving as well. So then, other things that are in this recipe. This monk fruit sweetener, that's kind of a blend of sweeteners. It's the golden version. The golden versions are going to work better for this. The Swerve golden version is a new one for me, and it really tastes like brown sugar. I hadn't tried that until just recently, and it's really great with this recipe. You might be able to use either one of these. I use this one for the custard part, and then I use this one for the topping. Just make sure you get a brown kind of golden version. Anyway, so I have organic coconut flour. I use a tiny bit of whey in the topping, and I think that's what the creme brulee kind of crust, I think it helps with that. I also use xanthan gum, and that would be in the custard. I have pecans here, and I have Walmart's vanilla. I use a lot of cinnamon. So this is cinnamon, but it's just, I buy it in bulk and then put it in a smaller container. And then I just put in some stevia. I'll add it on top of those other keto sweeteners just to get it to the sweetness that I really like, so it tastes exactly like a traditional Thanksgiving dessert. And then that's just my salt. And I'm out of pumpkin pie spice, so I'm going to have to do my own. So what do I have here? I have ginger, I have nutmeg, cardamom, and I have cloves, and then of course cinnamon. So anyway, this is what we're looking at. And here's the recipe. I'll just show it to you here. I will also put it in the show notes, but there it is right there. So the first things I'm going to be putting into this recipe are the pumpkin. And I'm just taking the can and I'm going to get it into the blender. Next up is 4 eggs. And then I have cream and sour cream, a ½ cup each. And I love that this recipe does not involve cream cheese. As much as I love cream cheese, I didn't have to remember to soften it. So it's really nice that I can just pour these items in. And then the cream, and in it goes. Then we have 1/8 teaspoon of xanthan gum, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a ½ teaspoon of salt, a heaping tablespoon of coconut flour, 2/3 cup of the brown monk fruit blend, so that's 1/3, and then I have my other third, and then I have a teaspoon of vanilla. I sometimes go over on vanilla because I really love it. The last ingredient for the custard part is the ½ tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. And since I didn't have it, I just wanted to let you know what I put in mine. A ½ teaspoon more of cinnamon, and then a 1/4 teaspoon each. Ginger, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg. I have all the ingredients in my Vitamix ready to go. So you can see all the different layers of yumminess in there. And then if you go on top, you can see the seasonings that I added. And now we're going to just blend this up. I'm going to taste it to see if I think it's sweet enough. I just dip a spoon in there. Oh my gosh, I could eat it just like this. Now I'm going to pour the Thanksgiving custard into my really pretty torte baking dish. First, I'm going to actually spray it with avocado spray. Now you could use lard. I've made it twice though with the avocado spray and it's turned out really nice. So I just poured the custard and I got a little bit more in here. So we'll just try to finish it off and get all of it out of here. It looks so creamy and delicious. So there it is. Now it's ready to go into the oven. So I'm going to put it in here for 25 minutes and then I'm going to take it out and put the topping on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is prepare the topping. And the topping for this has a bit of a creme brulee kind of crust. So it's super yummy, and I think the secret is right here in this whey protein powder. There's 2 tablespoons of this, but first we're going to add butter, and this butter has been browned. I talk about this quite a bit, especially in sweet baked goods. Browned butter is always better, and I don't go over the top. As soon as it starts to brown, I take it off the heat. Okay, then what we have are some roughly chopped pecans. Make sure they all get in here. And then I have 2 tablespoons of almond flour. I have the whey powder. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then this is the swerve sugar, and this stuff packs exactly the way brown sugar does. I highly recommend using this for the topping. I think it also works with the whey to create that little bit of a crispier creme brulee type crust. There we go. All right, so now I just got to stir this all up together and create a crumble. Okay, so now I'm going to take it out of the oven and add the topping. Okay, so it's out of the oven. And it looks so delicious. So the pumpkin custard is all done. It's out of the oven. It smells amazing. I can't wait to eat it. So what I'm going to do now is let it cool and I'm going to refrigerate it. I really like it best chilled, but you could just get it out, make it the day before Thanksgiving, get it out right when you sit down to eat your meal, and then it will get closer to room temperature by the time you go to serve it. So it just depends on whether you like it chilled or not. And also you just want to check your oven. The idea is that you're half baking it and then you're putting on the topping and then you're doing the other half of your baking time. I noticed this was a different can of pumpkin and it got done a little faster. In both cases, the ingredients are just pumpkin. It just goes to show between oven temperature differences in homes and also just the canned pumpkin could make a difference. There are variables that come into play in this chemistry of making a custard. So you do want to check it. Just keep in mind you're looking for the pumpkin pie sort of jiggle at the end to get that really nice, moist, and pleasant texture of a custard. Okay, so here is the final result. I've had the first piece and it is amazing. That creme brulee topping is sensational with homemade whipped cream. You really got to try this recipe. Thanks so much for visiting today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!